From Eric Rowan aligning himself with Daniel Bryan to Burn It Down, Seth Rollins becoming the men's Royal Rumble winner, to Becky Lynch winning the women's Royal Rumble. Congratulations, and I'm happy about both of those. To the Beast, Brock Lesnar, defeating Finn Balor. To the Royal Rumble event lasting 7 hours last night. 7 hours if you count the pre-show. This Royal Rumble is the most exciting, boring, exhilarating, spectacular we have ever seen in recent memory. At least part of that WWE wants us to think. WWE will want us to think that this Royal Rumble is the most exciting, greatest Royal Rumble in history. Okay, wrestling fans. And honestly, well, before we dive into any of it, thank you if you are joining me on my journey right here on YouTube. Thank you if you are one of the 195 subscribers here on the channel right now. If you're not, join me on my journey right here on YouTube. Become one of the 195 subscribers. Help me reach my goal of 200 and so many more other goals that I have by reaching 300 afterwards, amongst others, throughout my journey. Now, Facebook and Twitter as well, at 2007 Webby. And you can go back and watch On the Road that I put up last night. Clumsy Jason Funny. Good on the road, trust me. And Monday Night Raw review tonight. What will happen the night off of the Royal Rumble? We're all going to find out. But let's dive into this Royal Rumble, shall we? First things first, the Royal Rumble match itself, the men and women's. That's what you all want to hear about. That's what everybody watches the Royal Rumble event for. Let's be honest, wrestling fans. This Royal Rumble had ups and downs and roller coaster of a ride. Forget about WrestleMania 33, that being a roller coaster of a ride. You know, when I look at the Royal Rumbles now, I think of this, especially at the surprises. Unless you're an NXT or Mae Young Classic fan, some of you are going to like this, some of you are not going to like this comment. You let me know what you're thinking in the comments below. Unless you are one of these type of fans, there are no surprises for you. You saw people from the Mae Young Classic. You saw Aleister Black, Johnny Gargano, people like that. The only legend that you saw, really, to come out was Double J, Jeff Jarrett. Okay. And he, Memphis, Music City, Tennessee himself, right on out of the Royal Rumble. Okay. Can't tell you how many people griped, moaned, groaned, and complained that was over at my house last night. Because the there wasn't enough legends and people like that. Now, I don't have a problem with them putting in a surprise entrance of NXT and Mae Young Classic, and if they would have a tag team classic, a Dusty Rhodes Classic, or a different type of classic, or anything like that. I wouldn't have a problem with them putting in stars, from those. I would like to see, a few more legends in there as well. It was a joy seeing The Godfather come out a few years ago, and people like that. Or maybe if they threw in, I don't know, Mark Henry or someone of that nature. The one thing I was not a fan of, and some of you might not like this, I'd really, at this point, I don't care. Okay? This is one of these things where it just bugged me. It really did. And that was what happened at the end of the men's Royal Rumble match. WWE put Nia Jax in the men's Royal Rumble match. Nia Jax. Why in the world would you put Nia Jax in the men's Royal Rumble match? That is cringeworthy. She, I'm sorry, had no business being in the men's Royal Rumble match. None. You look at what they did. Tearing up R-Truth to have her come out there, get an elimination, and then get beat up by Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton, and a few others. And then tossed out. Whoop-de-dee-doo-dah. WWE, you could have debuted Lars Sullivan. You could have taken somebody from the main roster that, quite frankly, we never see anymore, and use them. Had somebody that was eliminated earlier attack R-Truth, put them in that place. Instead, you had Nia Jax. Now, some of you, I already know what you're thinking. Well, Beth Phoenix and Chyna was in the men's Royal Rumble matchup. Why can't Nia Jax be? I'm sorry. Anybody that compares Nia Jax to Beth Phoenix, and definitely compares Nia Jax to a Chyna, like I'm sure some of you are saying right now with me as saying that, I don't know what you've been watching. And I don't usually say stuff like that. Okay? But now, back to other things about this Royal Rumble. Especially who they had in it. Andrade, Mustafa Ali, people that Nakamura, they had all these stars that we knew that was going to be in it. But look, Mustafa Ali and Andrade Cien Almas, or Andrade, or whatever you want to call him now. Those are the two that stuck out to me. How long they lasted. Some of you are going to come on here and say AEW and all this jazz and just to make them happy. I am not going to freaking say that. I'm not. I'm not going to come in here and say AEW and all this jazz. I genuinely enjoyed what they did with them last night. You took somebody from the 205 Live roster, you put them on the SmackDown Live roster. People enjoy see Mustafa Ali and the work that he's been doing. I don't care if he's the flavor of the month or if he's the superstar of the month right now, as everybody's been saying. People enjoy Mustafa Ali. He is the number one guy right now as far as young talent. I really enjoyed that. Andrade. I know WWE's making him happy. Or at least attempting to. But what better way? He was part of the Final Four. Final Four, Andrade was. Plus everything that he's been doing with Rey Mysterio and that is awesome. Awesome work that he's doing. Couldn't ask for anything better. Absolutely fantastic what those two are doing. Nice job, WWE. Now, Seth Rollins, victorious. Burn WrestleMania 35 down. That's all I can say. Curb stomp Brock Lesnar's head to oblivion. Capture the Universal Championship. Wave it in the air like that after the match. And bring prestige for the first time to that Universal Championship. Because since its debut in 2016, it has not had it. I would be able to say that with Finn Balor, but he had to relinquish it. Bring some prestige to it come WrestleMania 35. As far as the Women's Royal Rumble, Lana gets hurt and Becky Lynch takes her place. Going to be interesting over the next few months. Becky Lynch winning this year's Royal Rumble matchup. How is Charlotte going to get into the main event of WrestleMania 35? Okay, that is the question now. We know Becky Lynch's way. She's going to choose Ronda Rousey. How is Charlotte going to get in? More than likely, a rivalry with Asuka. That's really how I'm looking at all this. It's the only logical way now. I mean, I guess WWE could just throw Charlotte in there, but you got to make it more intriguing than that. It was a good contest, the Women's Royal Rumble. I really enjoyed the ending of it. I did. Unless you are a really hardcore Charlotte fan, I don't see how you did not enjoy that ending. But that's just me. Now, Tag Team Championship was on the line. The Bar dropped the titles to the best tag team in the world in Shane and The Miz. Does anybody care? This is the match that I don't think anybody cares about, quite frankly. Not a single person. I don't. You don't. We all know what it's leading to. WrestleMania, Shane versus Miz. And we all know what this rivalry has done. Kill, or at least in Rusev words, crush the tag team division on SmackDown Live. Because they did have something going for a few weeks, and they killed it off for this matchup. Whatever. WWE Championship on the line. Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles. Yeah, I hate saying this, but I'm going to anyway. This match was boring. This match was utterly boring. This match sucked. A part of that had to do with the crowd, quite frankly. And it's not the crowd's fault. It's WWE's fault. Number one, because of where it was placed. Number two, because of how long the pay-per-view was. Number three, the style of match that they did. This match should have been knockdown, drag out affair. This match should have been running after each other, knocking the crap out of each other from start to finish. Was it? No. It wasn't. It was methodical. It was slow-paced. It was not something that people was going to get emotionally attached to this far into the Royal Rumble. When we still had Brock Lesnar and Finn Balor to get through, and we had the men's Royal Rumble to get into, and it's already been as long as it had been. And it was a 5-hour-long pay-per-view. So people weren't going to get real intrigued and interested in this match. And they just wasn't. Eric Rowan couldn't even help this match. He aligned himself with Daniel Bryan. That's cool. Another dynamic to Daniel Bryan's character. And it gives Eric Rowan something to do while I think Luke Harper is still injured. So I'm intrigued by that. But this match sucked. I'm going to be honest. Daniel Bryan's still WWE champion. Rightfully deserved. Okay. Whether AJ Styles had a contract has a new contract with the WWE or not, I don't care. Well, I do care. I want him to stay with WWE, but whether he has one right now signed or not, Daniel Bryan should have won that match. Speaking of championship matches, Brock Lesnar defeated Finn Balor. Was Finn Balor buried? No. Did Finn Balor need to win that matchup? If he's facing The Undertaker at WrestleMania, no. He did not need to win. Would have been nice to see the Demon? Yes. Because the last time we saw Demon was when he faced Baron Corbin. What's so special about that? It was when, I don't remember what pay-per-view it was, but he was facing Baron Corbin. And who cares about that? Seriously. Now, as far as this match, Finn Balor got his spots in. Finn Balor was able to capitalize and hit his finishing move, the coup de grace, and get some other things in and look pretty good doing it. Okay? He was able to do that impressively in my eyes. But what looks better on paper? Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins or Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins Universal Championship? WWE's eyes, Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins. Sorry. Now, my hope is, I'm hoping that they do not take Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins' rivalry and make it like a Roman Reigns story. I am saying that right now. I hope they don't do that because that's just cringe if they do. Let it be Seth Rollins' time. Don't enhance Roman Reigns into the storyline. This is Seth Rollins' moment. Let it be Seth Rollins' moment. Let it be about him. Okay? Lesnar and Rollins have history. Let it be about him. All right? Now, as far as the women's championship matches are concerned, because that's all that's left. The SmackDown Women's Championships, or SmackDown Women's Championship, Asuka versus Becky Lynch. Fantastic opening contest. Knockdown drag out affair. Great submission matchup. Back and forth. I did not like the way Becky Lynch lost, but I did like the way that they traded back and forth finishers trying to tap each other out. That was very intriguing. That was very entertaining. So I did enjoy that. But, I do think should have ended in some type of false finish, some type of DQ, some type of brawl on the outside, something. Not the way it ended. Now, Asuka, still SmackDown Live Women's Champion. More than likely, Charlotte in her path going into the future for WrestleMania season. Can see that happening. I wish Charlotte wouldn't be the one to take the title off of her because, honestly, I don't know. That just kind of gives the feeling that Asuka just can't beat Charlotte and Charlotte's unbeatable in that way. But I don't know. That's just my feeling about it. And you let me know what you think in the comments below about that. And as far as the Raw Women's Championship, pretty simple. Sasha Banks brought Ronda Rousey to the best match she's had on WWE television so far. Natalya hasn't. Nia Jax hasn't. Alexa Bliss hasn't. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon hasn't. Nobody hasn't until Sasha Banks. And Sasha Banks, I don't want you to go to AEW, but I do want you, and WWE, you're probably going to hear this tonight on Monday Night Raw review again, but WWE, start pushing Sasha Banks in a better way and give her a championship title reign that means something. She's a 4-time women's champion, yes, Michael Cole. But does anybody care about her 4 times being a women's champion? No. And you want to know why? Because she's a transitional 4-time women's champion. And that's all I got to say about that. It was a great contest. Well, I knew Ronda was going to win. And this is your Royal Rumble review. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, leave me that thumbs up. Join me on my journey right here on YouTube. I'll see you tonight for a Monday Night Raw review. And until I see you again, catch you on the other side.